Hello everyone, I'm Andy. I'm from class 501 and today I'm going to tell you the story of the little match girl. Once upon a time, on the bitter cold of the last night of the year, a wee girl walked on the darkening streets. She was all alone, snow whirled all about, falling on her bare head, chilling her beneath thin, ragged clothes. She wandered along the streets, her tiny bare feet frozen by the cold cobblestones. She carried matches in her apron and held a box of them in her hand. Matches, matches, anyone please buy some matches? But nobody paid her any heed. They all seemed like they were rushing home to celebrate New Year's Eve with their loved ones. Hungry, tired, and cold, she too wanted to go home. But she hadn't sold any matches that day. If she went home empty-handed and no money, her father would surely beat her again. Besides, they had nothing at home. They had no fire and no food. Wind would whistle through the leaky roof, and whatever blankets they had were damp and threadbare. Soon, when she could go on no longer, she found shelter in an alleyway between two houses to rest. She sat down and curled into a shivering ball. Her hands were numb with cold. She rubbed them to get some feeling back. Then she wondered if the light of a match might actually warm her. She took one out for a bundle and struck it. All at once, it seemed as though she was suddenly sitting in front of a warm fireplace, filled with crackling logs. For a moment she felt warmth and comfort, but then the match died and the fireplace faded away. She struck another match. And when the light fell upon the wall, it became transparent like a window. She could see inside the house. There was a table where a snow-white cloth was spread, together with silver dishes and crystal glasses. On the center of the table sat a fat roast goose, together with all sorts of delicious treats. The wee girl reached her hands towards the food, but then the match went out and the delicious spread faded away. She lit a third match. She was suddenly sitting under a glittering Christmas tree, the most beautiful one she would ever see. Hundreds of gold and silver baubles shone like jewels, and there were hundreds of presents beneath the tree. She reached her hands towards them, but then again the match went out and the beautiful tree vanished. She struck a fourth match. This time she saw her grandmother. She had died years ago, and the little girl remembered that her grandmother was the only person that ever loved her. "Oh, grandmother," she cried, "please bring me with you. I know after this match burns out, you will be gone, like the fireplace, the delicious bread, and Christmas tree, so please bring me with you." Quickly, the little girl struck a whole bundle of matches, because she wished to keep her grandmother with her as long as she could. The light was so brilliant it seemed brighter than the sun. Her grandmother reached out and took her by the hand, and up they went, into the sky, into the stars, where she would no longer be cold and no longer hungry. The next morning, the villagers found the little girl huddled into the alleyway. At first, they thought she was asleep, for there was a rosy glow in her cheeks as she seemed to be smiling. But they could not wake her. She was stiff and cold, frozen to death on a winter's night. No one would ever know what beautiful things that she had seen, or that her grandmother had led her away from a dark and the cold. Thank you for listening. Yeah.
Nice job, Andromeda.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andromeda. Mr. Don, do you have any question for her?
Yeah, sure. Andromeda was a very interesting story, and I liked the way that you told it as well. I didn't really have a question about your story, but obviously I see you had the Christmas theme, so I wanted to know if you may be excited for Christmas this year. What are some things that you do with your family on Christmas?
Usually on Christmas, I usually go back to my hometown, which is in Malaysia, and we'll usually gather and celebrate Christmas, and my family members will give each other presents.
Okay, awesome. Are you excited for that? Are you gonna?
Yeah.
Will you be able to go back to Malaysia this year?
I don't think so.
So maybe you'll have a Vietnamese Christmas this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Andromeda.
Thank you. Good stuff with the visual aids. Also, good telling of the story.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.